Pop.
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 Pop. Pop.
This is the poem that I remember very clearly reading and feeling like it was inviting me to start writing poetry and thinking about ways that my own stories could live in language. It's called Digging by Seamus Heaney. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, snug as a gun. Under my window, a clean rasping sound when the spade sinks into gravelly ground. My father, digging. I look down till his straining rump among the flower beds bends low, comes up 20 years away, stooping in rhythm through potato drills where he was digging. The coarse boot nestled on the lug. The shaft against the inside knee was levered firmly. He rooted out tall tops, buried the bright edge deep to scatter new potatoes that we picked, loving their cool hardness in our hands. By God, the old man could handle a spade, just like his old man. My grandfather cut more turf in a day than any other man on Toner's bog. Once I carried him milk in a bottle corked sloppily with paper. He straightened up to drink it, then fell to right away, nicking and slicing neatly, heaving sods over his shoulder, going down and down for the good turf, digging. The cold smell of potato mold, the squelch and slap of soggy peat, the curt cuts of an edge through living roots awaken in my head. But I've no spade to follow men like them. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests. I'll dig with it. This is a section from a poem about my father entitled, My God, It's Full of Stars. When my father worked on the Hubble telescope, he said they operated like surgeons, scrubbed and sheathed in papery green, the room a clean cold and bright white. He'd read Larry Niven at home and drink scotch on the rocks, his eyes exhausted and pink. These were the Reagan years, when we lived with our finger on the button and struggled to view our enemies as children. My father spent whole seasons bowing before the oracle eye, hungry for what it would find. His face lit up whenever anyone asked, and his arms would rise as if he were weightless, perfectly at ease in the never-ending night of space. On the ground, we tied postcards to balloons for peace. Prince Charles married Lady Di. Rock Hudson died. We learned new words for things. The decade changed. The first few pictures came back blurred, and I felt ashamed for all the cheerful engineers, my father and his tribe. The second time, the optics jibed. We saw to the edge of all there is, so brutal and alive, it seemed to comprehend us back. Should poetry address political issues? Why or why not? I feel very strongly that a poem is an opportunity for a poet. The reader is something that comes in much later for me, but it's an opportunity for a poet to really grapple with things that are troubling or confusing, confounding, complicated. I feel that a poem is always about going after the difficult thing, and it changes you, I think. It asks you to step outside of what you know and understand and move towards something that you are a stranger in. And I think that that's, in an ideal world, the way that we approach politics, or should. And I feel very strongly that poetry is a wonderful tool for understanding and changing the way that you look at and live in the world. And I think maybe even more importantly, the way you look at yourself and others. And I mean, in my own writing, I feel like I feel safest when I'm farthest from what I know.